everyone, it's Matt from Pixelade here and welcome back to the channel. One of my first thoughts after everything that's been going on with the brand new mod and CC policy from EA's website is how exactly will they be enforcing it, and are they actually going to enforce it? Or is this just something that they're posting just to kind of scare people into, following the rules or kind of following the rules? Well, it looks like we might actually have an answer on exactly how serious EA is about this updated policy, or new policy if you will. If you weren't aware and if you didn't actually take a look at the entire policy, EA actually included steps on how to report mods or custom content that does violate these terms. And in my opinion, some definitely do deserve to be reported. Those that are perma paywall, meaning that you have to pay money to access it at all. And honestly, they have pretty much ruined it for everyone else. I definitely think that there's nothing wrong with having a window, a time frame to charge money for content. Maybe it's a week or two, but after that, the content goes free for everyone permanently. I love that. It supports the creator, they work hard, and eventually everyone gets it for free, and it isn't too long to have to wait for it. So it appears as though simmers have already started reporting mods and custom content following the how-to on the policy page. A Tumblr user submitted a report to EA, and surprisingly, they got back very fast. Their response reads, "We take players who flout our terms of service very seriously, as we know how these actions can affect other players' game experience. While the case is set to close, the information you have provided will be saved and is available for our game team to pull and action. However, due to our privacy policy, we will be unable to disclose the results of this investigation or any actions taken against reported players. Please refer to the link below to submit the web form to report a player." This says a lot of things. This says if you're reporting mods and custom content for not following the policy or guidelines, it isn't just a simple report. It turns into an entire investigation. Honestly, at this point, I can see why so many perma paywall creators are scrambling at the moment. So many of them releasing all sorts of different statements. I'm definitely not going to drop any names because that's not the point of this video. I don't want people to go and attack. I just want to let you guys know what's going on and what I think this means, because there's a much bigger picture here with this. Here's another thing that I want to talk about. Again, I'm not showing any names here. Please do not send anyone hate, but I think that this is something you guys should know about because this is serious, and this does tie into that issue that we had several months ago with creators doxing people and also putting trackers in their CC. It looks like some creators have actually found some sort of loophole, as they say, to be able to continue to perma paywall or go against these new guidelines. One creator writes, "Announcement. I've made the decision along with other creators that we will no longer maintain any connection to EA or the Sims franchise. This is our decision after seeking formal legal advice. From this point on, we will only publish and market our 3D models in their original form. All of our patrons will receive a free model conversion for The Sims 4 in the form of a .package file which they may use as usual in the game. All ownership of our 3D models and textures is reserved by us. Additionally, we are permitted by law to transform our 3D models into any other form. In summary, everything will be the same for you. The next set, which I have been working on for weeks, will be released early next month. It is a very special set with multiple functional appliances. I am very excited to share this with you guys. We will continue to offer our regular Patreon content that was already published." This definitely does rub me the wrong way. There's nothing wrong with wanting to monetize your content as long as you're following the rules and being fair for everyone. They might think that this is some sort of loophole, but it actually isn't. The file is still going to be a package file. So technically, by EA's terms, it still belongs to Electronic Arts and Maxis. It would be a much different story if they went even further than that and actually sent them the raw 3D model. But then, how is the average Sims player going to be able to know how to convert that into a package file for The Sims 4? Because technically, if that's what were to happen here, then I guess it would technically be a loophole, but this is not a loophole, and I don't know what kind of legal advice was received here, but it's definitely not good legal advice, because EA could definitely take legal action for creators that want to do this, because it's still going against the terms. There's even speculation about there possibly being fake legal documents involved in this, all to push a narrative that cheating the system in EA's terms and policies is okay. The reason why I want to include all this is honestly because I want to warn you guys that this exists out there, and I really want you guys to be careful downloading CC, especially after the whole putting trackers in download situation and receiving custom content through direct messages, which is honestly so sketchy. You know, all that stuff that happened months ago. Please just be very careful on who you're downloading CC from. One post even mentions content being sent via email address, and I'm not trying to say that anyone that's doing this is doxing and putting trackers on their content, but there has been a past of those things happening with content that was transferred via email or direct message. So this is something you guys really need to look out for, and I would not trust any content that is being sent directly to you. Again, I'm not trying to say that in this specific instance on this specific post is an instance of that illegal action taking place. I'm just saying that these are the red flags you have to look out for because you don't know. And here's another post. It doesn't matter how many times you announce that you don't want any connection to EA or the Sims franchise. If you're sending .package files, you're not doing what you're saying you're doing. You're still in association with them because those files are the intellectual property of Electronic Arts. I could understand having a little bit of wiggle room, you know, let's say you release a mod or release a custom content set with some amazing cast assets and you say, okay, it'll be free in 2 weeks. Maybe you forget, maybe something happens and maybe you don't release it for a whole month. That's a completely different story than what is happening here. This is intentional abuse of the system, and I think it is why EA has published this policy along with a section on how to report these things. And now seeing responses coming back fast, it is 100% something that they are going to crack down on. And at first, I'm gonna be honest, I thought they were just kind of posting it to scare people into listening and following the rules, but they're taking action. Even email confirmations for Patreon subscriptions are showing more of what is prohibited by these terms. Custom content is not allowed to be locked in exclusive tier sets. Again, I've already said this, but you get my point. This is way farther than just a 2-week window to have to pay for it. And these are the kinds of things that ruin it for everyone. I personally do not mind spending money to support these creators because I love what they do. I'm subscribed to so many people on Patreon and pay so much money a month. Honestly, I probably pay like almost $100 a month on my favorite creators to download my favorite items. But I can afford that and I'm happy doing it because I know that they work hard, but it's the people that take advantage that ruin it for everyone. Some simmers have even noticed Patreon pages that are no longer accessible. We don't know if these were removed by the creators themselves or if they were taken down, potentially by EA maybe, we don't know. But I guess if enough of these reports come flooding in over specific creators abusing these terms, then I guess I wouldn't be surprised if Patreon pages did start disappearing, because I feel like that would be the appropriate action. I guess it's possible maybe they'll reach out to the creators and say, hey, you're violating our terms. You have this amount of time to, you know, correct your stuff and fix the problem before we request a takedown on Patreon's end. I don't know, this is just speculation. Maybe that's what they would do, or maybe not. Maybe they will just go straight for the throat and, you know, start removing pages. The responses after this policy change has honestly been alarming. some either turn extremely hostile or other creators, some of my favorites by the way, like Nolan, actually released an amazing statement. For me, EA updating their policy in regards to CC and monetization of UGC is a blessing in disguise. I've been here since 2015, so I've experienced the metamorphosis of this community as both a consumer and creator of content. Over the years, as paid and early access content have become normalized, I've seen so many creators have joined in on the CC making rat race as a way to get some fast cash. Instead of releasing fun, passion projects and interacting with the community at large, they work tirelessly to hit deadlines to meet patron, monetary, and follower goals, and there has just been this overwhelming feeling of loneliness and stagnation in the community. I can't quite put my finger on it. I miss the days of us having fun, sharing our creations, plus inspiration with one another, sharing resources, teaching one another how to create, etc. And ever since custom content became so heavily monetized, we've stopped sharing with and encouraging others, and it's just plain sad. If the prospect of profit is removed, I'm hoping we'll all support one another again and just have fun with creating, rather than worrying about our bottom line and boosting numbers. And if you want to and can support your faves, do it. Like reblog, share, donate if you are able. Just don't ever feel as though it's a requirement to enjoy this game, because it isn't. I know my thoughts and feelings may seem unrealistic and overly optimistic, but I hope we can all come together again and enjoy our Pixel projects, and this is so spot on. This is exactly what needed to be said with all of this going on. Luke, previously known as Grim Cookies, also released a statement. Permanent paywalls are bad, obviously. However, it's incredibly sad to see so many people openly celebrating the fact that hundreds of creators who have always done the right thing might now be potentially losing an income stream for some of their only source of income. Early access custom content has always been supported, and hundreds of creators have built their lives around the tiny bit of income it allows them to produce. Any change that makes those creators vulnerable to a loss of income should not be celebrated. I understand the negatives that have come alongside the monetization of the custom content world, but every other type of creator is allowed and celebrated when they try and monetize their work. Creators doing the right thing should not be punished. To be clear, I don't believe the new terms of use posted actually say or even imply the early access is not allowed, but a lot of people are interpreting them that way and seem to be celebrating it, which is what this thread is about. I think it's because they didn't specifically address the early access deal. They could have said early access is fine, or they could have said early access is prohibited, but they didn't say anything at all. So I think many creators would just rather play it safe than go against. Though if there are any that are still going to do the early access, then I will 100% support them, because from the beginning they were doing the right thing. I want to end this video on a positive note. For all of the custom content creators out there, you amazing, beautiful, talented individuals, we love you, we appreciate you. You guys are the backbone of this game. You guys, pardon the language, have literally saved this shitstorm of a game. If it was not for custom content and mods, I would have stopped playing it years ago. So from me to you, thank you so much. For those of you playing by the rules and being fair and being kind, thank you. We love you, we appreciate you. If you guys want to read the full terms and conditions, the whole policy, I'll have a link to that pinned down below. It's on my website. Take care, be kind to one another, happy simming.